I've actually been running this team for majority of the week. And let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, Ultra League Premier this season has been extremely unpredictable. And I've enjoyed it, but simultaneously, my brain feels like complete mush after this week. Also, have any of you been getting this crazy lag where you'll be doing a match and then all of a sudden it feels like there's just spurts of lag here and there on the server where it doesn't always affect the match because it still seems to catch up your fast attacks. But one thing I've noticed is in a lot of matchups where, like for example, if I'm using an Electivire, which is pretty much the focus of this video, if I stored, there was multiple times where I stored like double wild charge and I was at very low health, but it wouldn't even let me use my charge moves because it would have this like spurt of lag, and by the time it came back, my Electivire was already dead to the fast attacks from my opponent. So I end up multiple times throughout this weekend and week losing a bunch of battles just purely based on that weird lag. If you guys have been experiencing that lag, let me know in the comments below, but without any more, let's just jump into this. We're focusing on Electivire today. So my first opponent, I'm leading Escavalier and they lead Dragonite. So in this matchup, if they try to throw a Dragon Claw, I know I can take it, but the one thing I'm trying to pay attention to is if they're going to try to get up to a Hurricane. I don't really have the best save swap against a Dragonite lead. For the most part, I just try to stay in, and as you can see, they end up going for the Hurricane, and I do make the right call and shield it. So I'm just going to keep throwing Aerial Aces. Also, the moveset I decided to run on Escavalier was Drill Run and Aerial Ace, because I found that that coverage seemed to be more useful, like especially like in a matchup like this, Ampharos, but I know I can throw off the one Drill Run, so I opted out to do that, and then I switched to Venusaur knowing that no matter what move Ampharos throws at me, it's not going to really be too threatening. So they switch in their Snorlax, and I'm going to just launch my Frenzy Plant, and I think I can actually just barely live the Body Slam here, and I'm going to be able to get off one more Frenzy Plant, which will put the Snorlax in lethal. Oh, and it didn't knock it out, but it puts it in a very low range where I can just bring in Electivire, and at this point, we know that they just threw the Focus Blast, so I wasn't too scared, but I also figured, actually I guess I was a little scared here, because I did switch out, and it wasn't really necessary. I mean, I still had one shield, and we really just needed to farm down at that point, so GG's for that first battle. Let me bring up another one. The biggest issue with this team is Charizard. I wanted to try out the Electivire, but it's been tough. I mean, this team has been fun to play, but simultaneously, I've seen some of the weirdest stuff. Like, I even faced a team where they were running double fire, which, with all the Swampert and water running around, I was just so confused what was going on. But, you know, that's a part of playing Go Battle League is, you know, it's a mixture of expectations and spice and honestly just bad teamwork. I mean, bad team comps. Like, a double fire team should not work at all, but it works against my team. But anyways, you can see here, this is a pretty good scenario for our Electivire. We destroy that Lapras, and we're not even gonna bait. We're just gonna launch our Wild Charge because we're dead here. And fortunately for us, we do get a nice shield, and we already had energy build up on Escavalier before I switched out earlier. So I'm just gonna throw that Drill Run, and I'm not really worried at this point. I mean, I figured I was in a pretty good position. They do bring in Tangrowth here, and I wanted to bring in Electivire just to get a little bit of energy, and I can get that Ice Punch off, which is pretty nice, and I know I can just bring in Venusaur here and finish the game. There isn't anything Tangrowth can do fast enough to knock out Venusaur, so I think I'm gonna comfortably gain a little bit of extra energy here after they throw this Rock Slide, just to ensure that we are gonna win. And I'm gonna throw a Frenzy because at this point I know that can knock out, and we can actually just farm down on the Muck, and that's game. Yeah, this whole week, this whole week has been brutal on my, like, I've gone pretty average this week, and I can't tell if I'm, it's a tough meta. It's very unpredictable. Okay, so we get a Toxicroak lead, and I know I have to stay in here, even if I'm kind of gonna lose regardless. I need to pressure these shields. It's pretty important to me. So I'm gonna throw the aerial ace. They don't shield. That's actually totally cool with me. I guess I was thinking they're at such low health that I could probably... They're probably gonna just let it go or shield here. And I think they don't realize Toxicroak is kind of a problem for me. They bring in the Clefable. So I'm gonna... I guess I just let Escavalier die. And they have 2 shields right now, mind you. So I'm so scared because a lot of Clefable runs Psychic in this league. But as you'll see here, it doesn't seem that this person is running Psychic on their Clefable because they actually go for the Meteor Mash. I honestly thought I was going to lose here when they had 2 shields and Clefable, but fortunately enough for me, that wasn't the case. So I'm going to actually switch out here into Electivire when they have no shields and Wild Charge the Clefable, and crazy enough, they bring in Lapras, and I'm able to get a Wild Charge before they're able to Ice Shard me down, even though I have the defense drop, and that is game. That was an insane battle. See, Electivire has a lot of interesting matchups, but I'm not sure that the team I built here... Like, I wanted to run Swampert over Venusaur, but I just felt like you kind of had to pick or choose what you wanted to lose against, I suppose. But in this matchup, we get the Abomasnow lead, and they switch into Blaziken, and I don't really have the best way to deal with the Blaziken either. I mean, counters are not crazy damage here, but obviously we're afraid of the fire charge moves, and the only real pressure we have is that we're going to be doing Aerial Ace. So I'm going to switch into Venusaur knowing that I can take 1 Blaze Kick. And I'm just going to try... I think I just sack it. I completely just sack Venusaur here. And I guess my thought process was I could try to gain energy with Electivire and just farm it? Okay, so they bring in the Abomasnow, and I have not enough for 2 Ice Punches at this very second, but I go for the Ice Punch, and I'm going to switch out this Cavalier knowing that I still have an Aerial Ace. Go for the Aerial Ace, and yeah, this is a tough battle. I mean, I'm going to not die to the Weather Ball, but that's giving this Abomasnow some energy. But fortunately, we do already have the Ice Punch, so I'm just going to throw it right as I come back in. And my opponent brings in Togekiss, and I'm pretty sure there's lag here. I wasn't really sure what was going on there. It looked like they had lag, and I was able to get off the Wild Charge because they were lagging. Again, this is what I'm trying to say. I've lost and gained, I've lost and gained matches due to lag, like this past week or so. It's been kind of crazy. Okay, so we lead Escavalier, and Gengar is actually another kind of a problem for this team. And honestly, the past week, I've been seeing so many Gengar being run in the Ultra League Premier. Very interesting how this... I don't even know how to... I honestly don't know how to categorize this meta. I think this Gengar is like straight up just going to wreck us because I did not even predict... you know, a lot of Gengar are running Sludge Bomb and Shadow Punch, but they made a great call to just be very aggressive and Shadow Ball me, and yeah, again, it just puts me in a really bad position because Escavalier could kind of, you know, at least exchange shields with Gengar, but now I'm just getting completely wrecked by this Gengar, and I don't know what my idea was to just switch to Venusaur here, I guess. I don't know, maybe I was thinking that I could somehow pull off the win with just crazy amount of wild charges, but yeah, we are going to go down here. I mean, there's not much we can do after taking that much damage from the Gengar. And I guess, like, the main reason why I want to make this video today is because I like running Spice in general in Go Battle League, but I feel like this was a very hard season I don't know, something about this season in Ultra League Premier, it's been very difficult. I mean, it could have something to do with the state of the game as well. But yeah, unfortunately for me here, they make a great switch here, and I had a chance to actually maybe bring it back because they had Poliwrath in the back line, but they made a great call and switched to Gengar, completely wasting my wild charge. So that was just, in general, a really interesting set. And on top of it, I'll be back. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I think Master League comes back. This whole season, I feel like the state of the game is actually kind of affecting it a little bit, but I'm going to try to stay optimistic. But if you guys like this video, consider subscribing, liking, disliking, and I'll catch you guys in our next video. Be sure to come check me out on Twitch as well. I will be streaming tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So until next time, Sass Squad getting stronger each and every day. You guys have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.